Seniors, can you walk into your doctor's office and see them when you need to? Do you have your doctor's cell phone number? And can you call them anytime, day or night? At Dedicated Senior Medical Center, their only specialty is caring for seniors. Dedicated makes it easy to get the primary care you deserve. If your doctor isn't taking time to listen to you or isn't treating you like family, it's time to call Dedicated Senior Medical Center. Schedule a visit to find out more about the care you deserve. Call 813-359-1448. That's 813-359-1448. Appointments available now.
Welcome to Cafecito with Rosie on air, where you'll get to know local professionals, entrepreneurs, movers, and shakers, and how they're helping their community. Hear exclusive interviews from thriving individuals, get inspired, and learn from them. And now, your host, author, speaker, commissioner, Medicare broker, business owner, published author, and business trailblazer, Rosie Paulsen.
Bienvenidos to Cafecito with Rosie on air. My name is Rosie Paulsen, and you are listening to our show. This show idea came after many opportunities to showcase amazing entrepreneurs in the Tampa Bay area. My brand knowledge is knowledge, connection, success. And my followers love to help business owners succeed. I have become an entrepreneur since 2015, and since then I have built 3 thriving, successful, and profitable businesses. And now I teach others how to do the same. Today I am honored to invite one of my dear friends from Scotland. His name is William. And he is a very proud haggis-eating, whiskey-drinking, kilt-wearing Scotsman who has been living and working in the United States for over 10 years. William previously worked in economic development, his passion for local government in his native Scotland. Since moving to the U.S. in 2011, he has owned and operated a floor cleaning company, worked as a franchise consultant, and now, for the past 4 years, operate as an expense reduction consultant with Schooley Mitchell, North America's largest independent cost consulting company. He loves what he does now as he is able to live his passion of helping people and get paid for it. William, welcome. How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me on your show.
Great. Well, I know you and I have talked about you living in Scotland, and although because of the pandemic you have not been back, tell me a little bit about how was it to grow up in Scotland, and you know we all talk about the beautiful places over there. So tell me, what was your life prior to coming to the United States?
Well, when I came to the United States in 2011, obviously I came to Florida. So from a weather perspective, there's a huge difference between the weather in Florida in the United States than where I'm from, southwest Scotland. Where I grew up is beautiful. There's a mountainous island called Arran. So I grew up looking at the sun setting over the top of mountains. Just a beautiful area. The weather doesn't always behave itself. Sometimes it's wet and rainy in one day. And right now, if you look at the temperatures in Scotland, it's absolutely freezing, like everybody in the Northern Hemisphere. But one of the kind of lasting memories for me growing up in Scotland is that, okay, everybody sounds Scottish, but it was that kind of feeling of freedom that we don't have nowadays. And you don't have to grow up in Scotland to have that. It's that kind of like, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have phones. You went out and played with your friends until you injured yourself or you were hungry and before you came home. So, yeah, it's a kind of different culture. The people in Scotland are very warm. I'm not saying they're not warm here, but there's a genuine warmth about the people in Scotland, and I miss that. And I miss not being able to get back home. I still call it home, even though I became a US citizen, to see my friends and family and kind of like speak the language to my people.
Right. And what was the biggest culture shock, you will say, coming? Well, I know you're talking about people being warm and friendly. But perhaps food eating. What was kind of like the thing that is different here from over there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you mentioned that haggis and whiskey, and we tend to eat a lot of salmon and kind of fish and things like that, but we have a lot of fried food as well in Scotland. There's a lot of different things you would fry. You've probably heard of a fish supper, so that's your fish and chips. So we eat that kind of thing. But what I've discovered, that although you have McDonald's, etc., Burger King and all of that in Scotland, you just tend to have more of it here. There's just much more availability. One of the things that I notice is different about living in the United States and living in Scotland is that the just signage everywhere. You're absolutely bombarded by people trying to sell you stuff. And that's one of the biggest differences. But having lived in the Tampa Bay area for 11 years now, or for 10 years, I find that the amazing mix of culture is fantastic. Not that you don't have it in Scotland, but I didn't know that many people from other parts of the world growing up. But since I moved here 10 years ago, it's like I know people from everywhere that I've met in every language you can imagine living in this place. That's what makes, for me, the United States, and particularly Florida, wonderful. I do miss the landscape of Scotland. This part of Florida is very flat, very beautiful in its own right. I miss the landscape in Scotland. That's one of the big differences from here to there.
Yeah. And you talk about your wife. How long have you been married? Tell us, you have any children? What about your family?
Yeah, I've been with my wife. We got together in 1991. We got married in 1999, the last year of the millennia. It was a huge kilted wedding. Every single person, all the men had kilts on. As you can imagine, a Scottish wedding, lots of music, drinking, socialising, having fun. We have 2 kids. When we came here in 2011, the reason we came here, my wife got offered a job. I had a good job. We both had good jobs. But we got offered the opportunity to come to the United States with full green cards. So we thought, well, why not? If we don't like it, we can go back. We come from a beautiful place. It's not like we're going kind of backwards. It's okay, let's come here and try living in the United States. So when we came here, our 2 boys, Callum, who was 7, and Rory, who was 4, they were just babies. That was kind of scary because we were taking them out of everything that they had ever known in their short lives. But they're now 14 and 17. The big one goes to university at the end of the summer. He's getting his application results back in as we speak. So he's getting ready to go to university, and the young one's getting ready to go to high school. My wife works for Citibank. She's got a senior position within Citibank, who they've got an operation here, obviously. Her job's actually connected to New York, although she works down here in the Tampa Bay area. But like everybody, she's not been in the office.
Right.
So, yeah, we've been together a long time, and we've done a lot of stuff.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So tell me a little bit about who is Schooley Mitchell?
Yeah, I mean, as you said at the top of the show, Schooley Mitchell is North America's largest independent expense reduction company, and I kind of emphasise the word independent. And Schooley Mitchell is still family-owned. Dennis Schooley and his wife still own the company. We have a head office based in Stratford, Ontario. It's a Canadian company. The majority of the 200-plus offices are in the United States, mine being one of those offices. So we're all over from coast to coast, the USA and Canada. We're everywhere with those over 200 offices. And what we do is we go into businesses and we audit the costs in specific areas. And I'll give you the list of the specific areas. So it's telecom, so telecommunications, credit card processing, small package and courier shipping. So that's anything from an envelope all the way up to £150. Allows us to work with manufacturers and wholesale distributors. We have waste, we have e-signature, and we also have utilities, so that's your power and your water and your gas costs. So what we do is we don't supply any of those services, we don't install any of the equipment. We're your expert in your corner. So if you think about it, if you're really good at negotiating with any of these vendors, you can only negotiate from your own standing point. You don't know what everybody else is paying. And because we've got over 24,000 clients, we bring a lot of weight to the table, and obviously we have benchmarking databases of pricing that we've already negotiated with these vendors. So we bring a lot of advantage to the table for our clients because of our knowledge, because it's our day job. You may be a manufacturer, a doctor, you run a chain of restaurants, whatever it is you do, you don't have the the knowledge to bring to the table that we do, because you're busy running your business, and our business is helping to negotiate and find better deals for our clients. And when I say find better deals, for the majority of the time, our clients don't switch providers because we work with our vendors to get better pricing. The way we get paid is we sharing any savings we find. So we do the audit up front and completely at no cost. And our client only pays us half of the savings 3 months after they've begun to realise those savings, and we ask to be paid in instalments over 12 quarters. So we get paid over a period of time where we keep monitoring and keep looking at our clients' costs. So it really is not just a one-off audit. We go in, we look, and we will hopefully find you savings. If we don't find you savings, you don't owe us any money for the audit. And also equally, if you don't accept our recommendations, so whatever we recommend in our audit reports, if you don't accept them, you don't have to pay us. So it really is a win-win for businesses. The fact that we exist as a franchise is an indication as to how much money has been left on the table by businesses not having the proper skills or the knowledge or the information to hand to be able to get best pricing.
Yeah. See, that was one of the things that it caught my attention when you and I talked, is that I have no risk of losing anything. As a matter of fact, as a business owner, I have the biggest risk of losing by not listening by not letting you do the audit and see if you can find a way to save money. So I'm not losing anything letting you do it, because at the very end, if you find something, it will be on my benefit. But if you don't, I don't owe you anything. And there is no other, I will say, services that can guarantee that. So it has been now a way that I can go out there into business owners and said, hey, why don't you just give William a try? The worst thing that you can lose is get an audit and let you know that everything that you're doing is right and correctly, and there's no more savings you can have in your business, which is so important. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Rosie, because somebody said no to us last week. Basically, the business had said, I don't see the benefits. And the simple answer was that, well, the benefits that we bring to the table is we'll either confirm, because they believe they're on the best deal possible, we'll either confirm it with our audit you're on the best deal possible, or we'll save you money. It's not going to cost you money. You're going to have more money in your bank account. The way I look at it is it's really hard to earn money. If you think about all the hurdles and the hoops, you have to jump through to earn a profit. And it's that profit money that you're using to pay for those services. Telecom, credit card processing, shipping, waste, e-signature, utilities, those costs are coming out of directly from your profit centre. What we say is that we guarantee that you will keep more of your profit money in your profit centre by way of reducing costs in those areas, or there's no charge for our services.
Right. And see, that's what got it for me. And I keep thinking about more and more business owners that they should take advantage of this. Now, tell me a little bit about what does a cost reduction consultant do? And I know you mentioned about going to, telecom but actually walk me through a day in reduction consultant.
Well, obviously, a lot of what we're doing is trying to get in front of business owners to sell the services. Although we don't actually physically sell anything, we bring a service to the table that benefits the businesses. And so day to day, my job is doing this kind of thing, speaking to people like you, getting the message out. I'm always networking. I'm always talking to people about what we do. Getting appointments, getting in front of business owners, CEOs and CFOs, and talking to people about what we do. Because I won't sell this to you. I won't put you in a corner and make you feel as though you have to sign our agreement or the whole world's going to collapse around you. I'm going to educate you, and everything that I've just told you previously in this interview is all true, and it's exactly what I'm trying to educate people on, is that, well, why not have somebody come in and help you look at these costs? And even if you think you're in the best deal possible, even if you think you're the best negotiator in the world, there's always room for improvement to bring somebody in who's done it with 24,000 plus clients on a daily basis. But kind of on a day-to-day, that's what I'm doing. I'm constantly getting in front of people, looking to try and educate people on what we do. And obviously there's the back-end work that we have to do. There's the paperwork. There's the reporting back to the franchise. There's all that kind of stuff we have to do. You have to do your QuickBooks. You have to run your business. the process to actually come on board with a Schooley Mitchell franchisee like myself is really, really simple. We have a 1.5-page service agreement. That's our business terms. Client signs that, we're good to go. Then the client will sign letters of authorization that we provide them that allows us to be authorized to speak to the vendors on their behalf. We go through what's called our fact finding. That's where I will find out from the business for each one of those categories, and each one of those categories has a separate audit. So I'm going to find out from the business owner or whoever the decision maker in the business, why is your business using this service? Why are you paying this? Do you like this? Do you need two providers to do it? Because some providers, some people will use two different shipping providers, for example. They may use UPS and FedEx at the same time. So we want to understand why we're using these services, what the equipment is, what the business's needs are. We want to understand the business's needs before we do the audit. And then the other thing in that process is giving us access to the billing statements. So we want to get access to your billing statements. We want to get access to your contracts. And once we have that, and that's a really short piece of time and energy on behalf of the client, then we go away and we spend, on average, about 6 weeks producing our audit report, and then we come back and we present it to our client. And then, as I said earlier, the client can either accept or not accept our recommendations, and if we don't find savings, they don't owe us anything. So that's a kind of run through of what I'm doing on a daily basis, and a run through of the process of coming on board as a Schooley Mitchell client.
Right. That is very, very interesting because, like we mentioned over and over, this will be more helpful to the business owner than really to Schooley Mitchell. And there's a no-brainer in here. Now, how has your passion on economic development helped you to turn that into work for Schooley Mitchell? How has that helped you?
Yeah, I mean, I can go all the way back to living in Scotland. When working in local government, working in economic development, I used to write and present reports to committees. I used to respond to consultations. I used to work with local groups and local businesses to access funding and get projects together. As you can imagine, working in economic development, your job as the economic development person to make everybody make it all happen and make everybody come to the table at the right time with the right information. So that whole idea of helping people, I just love it. I just love being involved in helping people and seeing projects come together. So when I came to the United States, I started my floor cleaning business. I did that for a number of years, and then I switched gears and became a franchise consultant. And it's when I was looking at franchise consultancy, I was kind of able to bring a little bit of my caring, my passion for helping people by helping people buy franchises. And that was the whole thing about that. You had a consultant that would look at franchises and give you some ideas, and didn't cost you any money because you get paid a fee for finding good people for the franchises. So in doing so, I discovered Schooley Mitchell. And when I was looking at all these different models for lots of different clients, I was like, I want to do this, I want to do that. But the one that kept coming back to me was Schooley Mitchell. I was like, hang on a minute, I can go in there and I can help businesses reduce costs. I can kind of like deliver my passion for helping people that I gained through my years of working in economic development and bring that to the table. And I can make money doing that. So that was kind of the driving force. And that's why I ended up being with Schooley Mitchell, because I saw so many wonderful models, but the whole idea of being able to bring that support, that need that's out there, even though businesses don't realize they need that service, and I'm able to deliver something that really fills my passion, and that's helping people and helping businesses. Yes,
that is what we hear, right? In this economy and in this part of the country, because Tampa, although I tell people, it seems like it's a big city feel, it still has a small town charm. And when you talk about diversity, we are the third largest city in Florida, but the most diverse. So like you say, you will find everything and every type of business owner from every type of background. So this will be very helpful. Now, do you think that due to COVID, perhaps some business can slow down enough that this may be an opportunity to look at something that, to look at this, it was something that they would always wanted to do, but perhaps now they have the time because, well, maybe they didn't have people walking into their home, into their business and stuff. Have you noticed if businesses are increasing in making sure that this cost reduction is being taken care of or looked at?
Yes, more and more businesses are kind of looking at us now as a way to help, because as I had said, that the profits that your business makes, that's what you're paying these services for. So more and more businesses are realizing, well, hang on, my profits are going down. I've had so many people, even in businesses that we haven't worked with, they've just reduced their costs in specific ways. I have a friend who owns a coffee machine business, and he's doing really well for himself. But what he said was, when the pandemic hit, he offloaded some staff, he reduced his costs, and he was telling me the other day there that his profits have gone up. And that's a clear indication to looking after your expenses. It will help you get profits without making further sales. Yeah, we're finding more and more businesses want to talk to us. And to be honest, you shouldn't wait until the economy collapses to start speaking to us, because even if you're a business and you're thriving, it's still profit money. Whatever profit level you're at, you're spending some of those profits on your costs to run your business. So whether you're making tons of money or you've taken a hit, you really should be speaking to a company like us, and hopefully me, to help keep more of those profits, because that's what it all boils down to. But in a short answer, yes, we are finding more businesses are looking at us as a possible way to help them. And businesses that maybe have sales going down, as I said, even though your sales are going down, you can still potentially look after your profits by looking after your costs.
Yes. And, you and I met at LinkedIn Local, which it was, one of my favorite in-person networking events. But now the new normal is most of these meetings are done virtually. Are you jumping in the bandwagon of the virtual presentations and virtual meetings?
Yes, 1,000,000% I am. I very rarely did any presentations for business using conferencing. Now I'm a fully paid up member of Zoom. I present full-blown PowerPoint presentations to businesses and people I'm trying to educate in what we do. And as you know, Rosie, you've came on my show having been interviewed in Zoom. So I'm doing so much more. To be honest, I think it's one of the real positive aspects that's come out from the COVID nightmare that we all find ourselves in, is that we're now much more comfortable using this virtual networking, virtual communication, because I can work with clients anywhere in the country, even in Canada or the United States. There's less of an onus for me to say travel to Chicago or travel to Los Angeles if I'm speaking to a live client. Don't have to go there. But that's good for everybody. It's less cost because we don't have to travel. It's less time. We don't have to travel. So I've really embraced the whole concept of virtual networking, virtual doing business. Although having said that, I do like to go out and do face-to-face networking because I'm a social animal. I've been doing more of it lately, but certainly not as much as we used to. But I think we're going to have a nice mixture of both worlds, hopefully whatever the new norm looks like. But certainly from a business perspective, it's opened up a whole new avenue of being able to do business and spend a lot less time and spend a lot less of other people's time when you're trying to present what you're doing as a business owner.
Yes. And where can people find you? So tell us again your email, your website, and your phone number.
Yeah, well, my website is www.schooleymitchell.com. I'll spell that for people who are not used to a strong Scottish accent. So it's Schooley, it's SCHOOLEY, Mitchell, MITCHELL.com, and then it's / my name, W McKissock, that's WMCKISSOCK. So it's www.schooleymitchell.com / W McKissock. And my telephone number is 813-449-1215. My email address is william.mckisock@schooleymitchell.com. So you can reach me any of those means. If you go to my website, my details are there. You can connect with me there. If you email me, I will always respond, or you can call me. I'm really easy to talk to. I don't grunt and growl on the phone. I'm quite pleasant. So please reach out to me. Anybody that's listening to this and wants to look at saving the business money, I can certainly help. And if I can help, you'll be notified that you're doing really well for yourself and you have the best deal possible.
Thank you so much, William. And to my listeners, I have a quote from my book that I would like to close this show with, and it's, great leaders don't set out to be leaders. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role. It's always about the goal. Lisa Haitian. And my friends, you are a leader. Even if you don't think so, even if you believe that you're not a good salesperson, what you're passionate about, even if it doesn't have a cost, you're selling. So become a leader, inspire others, share your story, and make a difference. Stay pure, stay positive, and stay inspired. See you next time. This is Rosie. Ciao.
You just enjoyed another episode of Cafecito with Rosie on air. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and visit www.rosiepaulsen.com to learn more about Rosie Paulsen Enterprises. Stay pure, stay positive, stay inspired.
Seniors, can you walk into your doctor's office and see them when you need to? Do you have your doctor's cell phone number? And can you call them anytime, day or night? At Dedicated Senior Medical Center, their only specialty is caring for seniors. Dedicated makes it easy to get the primary care you deserve. If your doctor isn't taking time to listen to you or isn't treating you like family, it's time to call Dedicated Senior Medical Center. Schedule a visit to find out more about the care you deserve. Call 813-359-1448. That's 813-359-1448. Appointments available now.